Hello, everybody. Good afternoon to Friday's lunchtime phone-in show. He gets in at the last moment. Big up, Mr. Daigle. How are you doing, sir? Guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the show, Friday episode. How are we all doing?
All good, thanks, brother.
Good, Perchy. I'm just wondering where Mr. Waffle Bear is, because he said he was coming on.
I mean, that was the key point. He was so adamant. I'm expecting him on. Mr. Box Office is on his way. We're expecting him. We hope he shows up. He was one that said, "I'm coming on today because I've got a lot to say." Where are you? Where are you, Alex?
Let's be having ya.
He does have a lot to say, but I think he's going to clear things up and get to the point.
Exactly. We do love you, Alex, but where are you? We're waiting. But let's see who's in the house. Mr. Kaufman, the master moderator is here. And he's an understudy, Mr. Cousins. Big up, guys. Hope you guys are well. Big up, Danny Glover, always here. Mike, you're always here. Stinging Nettle. Oh, yeah, get Perchy to 1K. Hit subscribe.
Jesus Christ.
I'm begging you. That's what I can think of.
We're going to be talking about that video, Barry. We're going to be talking about that, don't you, worry? Big up Ruthie too. Hope you're well. Big up James. Big up Carl. Hope you're well. We got Rob. Hope you're well, mate. 11 p.m. for you. Nice evening one. Hope you're good. Big up Hod God. Proud to be Geordie. Who else? We've got loads in here. Nathan. Hope you're well, mate. David, Danny, always here. Rob, big Wolves at Finland. Hope you're well. David, big up Paddy. God, we're flying through. There's loads of you in, and whoever's left. Oh, and obviously,
there's 64 of you watching. If you all go and create 2 accounts and sub, then Perchy will get to 1,000. And he'll shut up about it.
And he will shut up about subscribing. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Guys, and a big up Juicy over on the Twitch Army, and anyone else who I've missed, big up to you all. Bill, I see you in there, and Toe Osber. I hope you guys are well. Let's talk now, because yesterday was the news that Vicario is joining Tottenham. It's gone so quickly now that it's a here we go. He's on a plane to Tottenham, and he's going to probably sign over the weekend. Guys, what are your thoughts on it? Are you excited about this? I mean, there's such diversity. People were so adamant they wanted David Raya. Tottenham pulled out of that. From my opinion, my thoughts were that we did this under the radar, kept it quiet. And then when we thought, do you know what? If they're not going to push on David Raya, we've got someone that statistically, data-driven, is relatively similar. So for me, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think a lot of people jumped on it and got really over the top about it. But for me, I think it's good business for me. People will say it's the cheap option, but let's be honest. They weren't pushing on David Raya. I wanted him. I'm not going to hide away from it. But I did say, and Ben will do, because he was on the stream, and I said, I have no problems if we pull out of David Raya, as long as we've got something under the radar. And we have done that. So for me, I can't be argued. Brian, I'd like to get your thoughts on it, mate. Welcome as well.
Thank you, brother. So when I've been very vocal about, I wanted David Raya. I wanted him very badly. I thought everything just suited for him. The fact that he's Premier League tested, lives in London, just everything that goes on the pitch and everything you have to do when you move to London off the pitch, everything just fit. Everything just seemed like this is a deal that I can't see a fault to it, apart from obviously everyone discussing the price.
Yep.
When it fell through, I went stark raving bloody mad, as only I do, in true Daigle fashion. Then, when the news broke about the Empoli keeper that this was moving forward, I snapped. But it was knee-jerk. Because of where I stand with Levy and because of what I've suffered and seen for 15 years, I immediately go to attack. And then I saw a tweet. I don't know who tweeted it. And it pulled me back. And it was like, people have said we're switching to data now. And people want us to act like Brighton, Leicester did and all that. So when we do that, you have a go because it's not someone you know.
Wasn't that my tweet?
No, it weren't yours. You might have started it, but
I tweeted saying it went
I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people said this.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know. I can't say, wow, what a wonderful goalkeeper. I can't say, wow, he's the answer. But what I can say is I jumped the gun and went straight to Levy attack mode, which is my natural default, as we all know.
Of course.
But this is what happens. No one knew Casado. No one knew Matoma. No one knew. You start listing off players. Would I still rather Raya? Absolutely. But I can't.
Yeah.
I want my club to start doing things right, and I want my club to be better. And if they are going through this this process of going through the data, then so be it. But what I will start getting pissed off now is with a lot of money saved from Raya, whatever we were going to pay. Now I've heard the deal that Spurs had on the table was 30 million rising up to 35 with add-ons. So we weren't that far away.
No.
Brentford were just literally holding out 40 is the answer, 40 is the answer. But if we don't use the money we've saved or whatever we do to now say, right, we're doing this because he fits the profile for the goalkeeper. We all know Maddison fits the profile for the creative midfielder.
Yep.
If this falls through or goes to the, then questions need to be answered because we know he matches the metrics. We know what he does. But yeah, like I said, going back to the goalkeeper, I don't know enough about him to say I'm delighted, ecstatic, but Ange obviously wants him. The data that we've done and they've done the research on backs up what they want him to do. So I will support. Listen, I will support him all the way. But Ray was my choice, and I still stand by that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Mia, I'd like to get your thoughts on it, Queen. I'll come to Barry after. What are your thoughts? I think for me, as I said to you, I agree. A lot of what Brian was saying makes a lot of sense. I just think at the moment, I think it's come out in the media, not directly from the club, that we are going to go through this sort of analytical way of thinking. Does this not sound like, because all I hear straight away is this is a Levy signing, and I think I had this conversation yesterday. But for me, a Levy signing would be go and get Jordan Pickford from Everton, or go and sign Meslier from relegated Leeds. So for me, I don't see this one as a Levy sign because I don't think he would have had a clue who this fella is. I'd like to get your thoughts on it, Mia.
Yeah, I think overall, I want to give this guy a chance. I haven't watched enough of him to completely say. Obviously, I don't believe in just watching YouTube videos because I don't think you get a very good idea from what he's actually like. And yeah, if we're going to go down that metric-based system, and that is what they've done it on, I think that's perfect. I had someone in my comments this morning tell me that who knows, I think they're a Celtic fan, told me this is very much an Ange signing. They said that it's quite an Ange thing. So I've got to try and basically weigh up logically what I think. So for me, I believe that it is an Ange signing because we already had Kulu come out and say the manager wanted me. So I think that they've sat down with him and said about players. I don't think they've just completely excluded him, even though he's not due to supposed to be starting yet. I think that he has got involvement in all of what's been going on with these transfers. So I think that actually it probably is a Postecoglou signing, if I'm honest.
I agree. And Barry, what are your thoughts? Because I think that's how my theory is. And listen, I'm a massive critic, and everyone really in here knows about me. But for me, I'm very much, when I'm critical, I have to be very balanced. So I'm not one of these that will just say everything's wrong, because I look at things very systematically, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts?
Can I add one thing before you have, just for one sentence before you ask me the question? Because you said it before about whether Levy not knowing him. Paratici certainly did.
Possibly, yeah.
So whether it's in the back end with Paratici or things were left for profiler players, whatever, I don't know. But I think Paratici's all over this.
Possibly. I think that's not on. I mean, there were talks about us before, and load of Italian clubs want him. So even if you're skeptical, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Like if buts and maybe and stuff. But Barry, just get your thoughts on it, mate. Are you excited about the signing of Vicario, or is it one of these, the unknown is kind of, you're skeptical? I'd love to know your thoughts, mate.
No, look, I think, look, was David Raya the one that everyone wants? I think everyone will sit there and say, yes, that's the one. It's the one that we want. He was the one we wanted.
You sing it better, I'll get copyright
so
strike.
look, it is, but look, we've done that, like we've all said. If this means that it frees up money for frees up money for a Tapsoba, frees up money for a Maddison, whatever that looks like, let's just wait and see. I think the easiest thing that we all do, and I understand why we do it, and especially that man in the top left does it, is based on the last 23 years, right? So is it the cheapest option? Are we going into something that we're kind of not knowing what's going to happen? Are we going to just go for cheap and it's going to come and bite us in the arse, right? But what I would say is what you said, Perchy, as well, is that people are crying out for us to act like Brighton and try and find these gems and go for data-driven players and everything else. And then when we do, someone's going to moan about it.
Of course.
No disrespect. People have their opinion. That's fine. But everything that happens, we seem to just find the negative spin or anything else, right? And that's fine. And I get it. And I understand it. I just want to see us get behind the players and see where we're at. Because look, if we do I said yesterday, I think we got 120 mil probably is the budget. That needs to be taken into account as well. We need a centre back. We need an attacking midfield. And if all we do is, obviously Vicario, a Tapsoba, and a Maddison, then that's better than what we've done in the past. The Magic 7, the Magic 6, the wasting of money and everything else, right? And look, yes, David Raya was, probably was what we needed, but has he only had one good season and Brentford have gone up there and we're waxing lyrical about him because he's had one good season? I mean, there was people talking about that I saw about we should be on the same level as Liverpool. We should be spending money like them. And
based on what?
Nonsense.
Yeah, no, but I think that's a key part. When there was a part you mentioned about the sort of because obviously when we're talking about going down the Brighton route, then you get the same argument. We're Tottenham Hotspur. We're a bigger club than Brighton. But I sit back and I go, okay, I agree. Historically, we are a bigger club than Brighton. But right now, we're not anywhere near run as good as they are. We're nowhere near that. We're run terribly. We're an okay team. We're an okay team with Harry Kane.
Yeah, and look. The other thing is, right? The other thing is that we got a good deal out of Kulusevski, 25 million over how many years? We heard nothing about this guy 2 days ago, and he's signed, and the medicals will be done on Sunday. Look, that's not going to take away 23 years of what's happened, but does it mean that finally things are starting to change and we are actually going to have a rebuild, or we're going to get the players that the manager actually wants? Because if Ange just said, I want Vicario, I want Maddison, they're my top two, and then we'll see what happens. We may be able to, later on in the transfer window, because look, it's not even July yet. Players, clubs aren't going to want to spend extra money when they don't necessarily need to. But does it mean that we get towards the end of the transfer window, we send some players out on loan, we get some players back, we do some... I don't know, look. I don't know. But I think that, Newcastle signing Tonali puts a kibosh on them getting Maddison. So realistically, the only other clubs... The only thing that will scupper this, and I can see it now, is if Declan Rice goes to City and then Arsenal come in for Maddison. That's the only thing that will scupper.
Potentially, no, that is a plausible one. I want to pick on this one. Brian makes a good point here. Brentford will be unhappy with an unhappy keeper who's not signing a new contract. Could we go back in from in January? And I'm going to put a hypothetical on this because this isn't a bad take. I'm not saying that it will happen, by the way. I'm very unsure if it would happen. But hear me out. If Spurs bring in Vicario, I'm going to take off the bit of January for a second. If Brentford got nearer to deadline day and Spurs went, do you know what? We're going to bring this lad in. at the last minute, and go, do you know what, to Brentford, go, we're putting £25 million on the table, 5 to 10 million in add-ons, take it or leave it. This is a lad that's not signing a new deal with you. You either take it or he goes on a free. He could agree a free deal in January to clubs in Europe or elsewhere outside of England. That's something that if that happens, I don't think anyone can complain about it being a last-minute one, because I think it could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, because I think there could be other suitors for David Raya. I think there'll be clubs all across. There'll be certain clubs around Europe that would be looking at him. I mean, you've got to bear in mind, like, PSG could lose Donnarumma this window. That's come out and stuff, and they might go and say, well, this is an option for us. I'm not saying that's going to happen, by the way, and I'm not, but just putting clubs and that are going to be a goalkeeper together. But this is something I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on it, or Brian's head, because it's not a bad shout, because this is a player out of contract. I don't think it will happen, but there's always possibilities.
Well, the one thing I'll say about that will be a carbon copy this window of what happened with Hugo Lloris. For people that remember, when we signed Hugo Lloris, the deal was agreed for 12 million, and then as soon as he got into Spurs Lodge, because that was the training ground then, Levy phoned up and said, no, it's going to be 8 million, rise into something on, and it's up to you. It's the last year of his contract, and the deal got done. It's slightly different here because it's English club to English club. If we put our faith in getting our number one in to be our number, if that was the case, if we get Ray, we should have gone and got him at the beginning, because that would clearly show that he was the number one and Vicario has been a backup, hoping we could get the first one in. If that deal was to happen, I would hope we have bought 2 central defenders and James Maddison, or a creative player.
Agreed.
We've now got a goal. So for me, now that we've got a goalkeeper, who Spurs have obviously trusted, Spurs are going to pay money for, whether people say it's a big fee, a wild gamble, whatever, it's a fee. And now you have to, I don't care, like I say, if we save this money, even if we don't do it with Maddison, you've now got no excuse to spend that extra bit on a central defender.
Agreed.
Where we really, really, really need quality.
That's a key point. And this is a point I did make. And this is where I felt people were prematurely getting angry yesterday about the Vicario deal. Because I said, the anger should come now. The anger for me was where it comes is if all of a sudden we're now taking forever to sign a centre half. We've now saved over 20 million quid here on what we're going to end up having to pay for Raya. Now there's no real excuses as a club to go, do you know what? Now taps over. How much is it? 20 million? Okay, cool. We're going to offer 15 and then 5 in add-ons or whatever it is, give or take, whatever the price tag is. Boom, done. That's another one done. Odrabayo over at Fulham. We want you. We're going to now start. What's the price tag? 20 million. Okay, cool. That's how I want to see us operate. That's why I feel that it was the aggression with the whole Vicario thing was premature, in my opinion, from fans, because I went, that's not where you should be getting angry at. You should be getting angry if we get to the opening day of the season and we've not signed a centre half, or the start of pre-season and we may not have a centre half, or not even having a centre half potentially on the way. And have you noticed? And one thing I've noticed at the moment, and this is one thing guys in the chat to listen to as well, Romano's tweeting a lot about Tottenham now. There's tweet after tweet. Spurs are after Maddison. They're still in talks of the deal, potentially. The centre-back is the next on the list. You're not hearing, when there's silence, that for me I get worried, because I'm going, there's no fresh reports coming out. Barry, what are your thoughts on that, mate? Because I think that's how I feel. I think when I'm seeing there's very quiet at the moment, I get worried.
Why are you getting worried, Perchy? You're more worried about your subscribers than you are about.
Okay. Well, okay. Now you've done that. You did every time you bring up. We're at 929 subscribers, guys. So we're 71 away from 1,000.
Please, guys. Can someone just go and get Perchy 71 subs, please?
71 of you subscribe, and I'll shut up. That's the way to do it.
Perchy, I have to let you know as well with this. Everyone gets like this when they're on the hunt for 1,000.
Oh, it does.
No, they don't. Have you heard me begging? I don't beg. I don't beg, man. I say it every now and again, but I'm not someone like Perchy. Please.
Well, how many subs are you on, Mia?
Please, I'm on 600.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you're in the 900 to 1,000.
Yeah,
we want to get there.
The last 100.
Please.
You
Barry was the king of
No,
Harry,
they've
Harry,
actually.
I'm booting.
The
You're
moment they got
No.
there.
Do you know they've actually changed the rules, so I'll be able to get some monetization when I get to 3,000
see.
watch time. So
We're nearly there. But listen, obviously, if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's the thing. But it would be very kind of you could. I'm just being nice about it. Being nice about
I was a slut for doing it. I was an absolute slut.
Brian,
You're
we're
not
talking
on my
about
level. You're not on my level yet,
mate.
Perchy.
We're talking about subscribers, Brian, not your personal life.
Mate, happily married man, as you know.
I meant when you were younger. I didn't mean.
Oh,
I didn't
Oh
mean-
yeah, definitely.
Welcome, Ben. By the way, welcome. Hope you're doing well, mate. Always,
As always here to be with someone.
How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, we're
Good.
all right. We're listening to all the conversation. We've heard some crazy things in the space, and we're gonna put our opinion on them. It's gonna be great.
I love that. I love it. So for me now, like as I said, as I was mentioning now, I'll let you come to this one, Ben, and just come in and stuff. But like for me now, I think it's so crucial that centre back. I've said, I know you're slightly different on it because we've spoken before about it, but I think it's centre back's more important than Maddison right now. However, if Maddison's easy to get done,
I would agree with you with that.
but I think we need a centre half now. I think a centre half. I wouldn't be too bothered if Maddison's later. I think it's probably going to be an easier deal right now, but we need a
No
centre.
such thing as an easy deal with Tottenham, now is there?
True, but you know what I'm saying though. I think I think it's probably easier to go and get a James Maddison from a relegated Leicester.
Oh yeah.
Than it is maybe getting a Tosin Adebayo from
I think Tatsoba would be an
Agreed.
easier deal than Maddison because Leicester know how to deal with Tottenham because they know we need an attacking midfielder. They know Maddison wants to come to Tottenham. They know that's it. Give us the money and you can have him. But
Agreed.
just like with Arsenal and Declan Rice, where it seems they've bottled it again. Pay the fee. If there is a fee, if there is a player that you think will work in your team, get the player.
I think that was very smart business from City. They wanted to see what was happening with Gundogan, and I think West Ham were just holding out, thinking if Gundogan goes, they're going to need someone that's going to fill that gap, and that's what. Oh my God!
It is.
Alex, you're half an hour late, mate.
Come on, Alex.
Do you know what? I'm so happy I poured a big mug of coffee for this. I am very happy.
I'm going to get one.
We've all been waiting.
Well, okay. This is going to be a short, sharp appearance from Mr. Box Office again, the main event, the professor of truth and entertainment. Well, the first thing I need to say is this: all that waffle yesterday from people yesterday. No disrespect to the guy, because I think he gave his due, but at the same time, I think I made my position absolutely quite clear. If you can't understand, you're dumb. The point I'm making is this: I've said already. I need to see whether Postecoglou is going to get backed after a bad run of games. Yeah, Brian will understand this because Brian knows the whole feeling. You know what I mean? But I know some people can't understand. But the point is, I have seen managers come and go at this club for the last 20 years, and I've supported it since Jerry Francis got sacked out of his job. By the way, yeah. When I haven't seen that success, all I've seen is disappointment and 2 Carabao Cups. By the way. Yeah, so I can have a little bit of reservement about this, especially after I zoned out last season, which I said last season. I said to you that takes a lot for Mr. Box Office and Alex to zone out and not turn up to games. A lot. Again, Brian can vouch for me.
You go to games, Alex. You said I'm not going to another game.
That vouch for me as well. Again, Nick is waffling. Even Nick is waffling. Nick is waffling. But anyway. I will say this to the people that say that I need to believe. Well, do you believe that much? Let's up the ante a little bit then to those people, yeah? If you think it's so big at the moment, if you think that this is actually something that he's going to stay for the whole season, put a bet on it. Say to me right now, put an Arsenal shirt on the line then, yeah? End of the season. If he's here at the end of the season, I wear an Arsenal shirt. If he doesn't, you wear an Arsenal shirt, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it. Let's up the ante right now, yeah? Let's put your opinions to the test then, yeah? Let's put your opinions to the test now, yeah? Yeah? Let's do it. Yeah,
Alex, I'm worried about you. Because all you
let's
want to
try
talk about,
it. Let's try it. Yeah,
all you want to talk about
and that's
is
all I
Arsenal
need to say, and
shirts,
that's
mate.
it. Back to you, Perchy. I'm done.
You
Yeah.
know what I have to say?
Okay, so-
Getting Alex on a 1 hour show with 6 people. That I don't think. Yeah, I don't. You might be late from your lunch break today, Jack.
Might be. We might be a little bit late, but it's fine. It's Friday.
Pick up,
But
Alex, brother.
Alex, so you want to bet that Postecoglou will be sacked before the end of the season? Is that the bet? I'm assuming that's what you're saying, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because they're so sure this is long term. They're so sure this is long term. Yeah. Right.
I'm
So
gonna back
if you
the
want to
manager,
do that, no,
Manage.
because you're going to go on for 25 minutes.
And
You're
now
going
I'm
to
going
go.
to do a bet against him.
Yeah, you're gonna go for 25 minutes, bruv. I'm not gonna do money, by the way, yeah, bruv, because my money's sacred, bruv. So you ain't gonna do money with me, trust me. You know what I mean? So don't even try that
He
with
hides
me.
it. He hides it in the woods. That's what he does.
My point is, if you see, if you're gonna put your, if you're gonna say that I'm negative, okay, and you say that we need to be positive, put your opinion on the line and say by the end of the season, if he's not here to, if he's here by the end of the season, or he's not here by the end of the season, I want people to put an Arsenal shirt on, and that's it. And that's all I need to say. That's all I need to say, and that's it. Yeah? And that will show me that you believe. That will show me that you believe, and that's it. Yeah. Yeah, you didn't expect that from Mr. Botsoff, didn't you? You didn't expect that, didn't you? Yeah, the moment of truth, like I said every single time. Yeah, back to you, Perchy. I'm done.
I'm so lucky I get a free front row seat to this entertainment
Honestly,
every day.
you are so lucky. I mean, look, you want me to put a bet on with you that Postecoglou will be manager at Tottenham in the last game of the season? Is that the bet, right?
Yeah.
So he'll be managing the first and the last game of the season. I mean, I don't have an Arsenal shirt because I'm not like you, the secret gooner.
You all know that's not true, Perchy. But anyway, moving on.
Okay.
That's your words, not mine.
I mean, I haven't got the picture. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get a very tan, bronze-up Sava that will come and find that picture. He's got it somewhere. But I think he would. I don't think he'll. I think he'll be here by the end of the season. Does anyone else think that? Am I the only one that thinks that?
I think he will be because Tottenham managers last 18 months.
Unless you're Stellini or Mason, or I will say, listen, when people have said to me, and it's the first thing I say, what is success? When people say to you, what is success for you this season? My first thing I say is ending with the same manager we started with. That would be success for me. I really hope he is.
And this is the thing. This is the thing, yeah. Sorry to interrupt, yeah, because I know Nick needs his time to shine. My point is that like I'm not even expecting that much. I want just good football. At least he gets into top 10. That's it. That's it. You see what I'm saying? So as long as he plays good football, Alex, and that's it.
I'm going to put it to the chat if I should accept your bet or not. And let's see what the chat.
No, this is to people that are doubting me. So Sava, Sava 1, Perchy 2, because you're like his understudy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's 1. You know what I mean?
You're
another. David Harris is another. Sean another, because I know what Sean's like. You know what I mean?
Alex, you're firing shots at people when you haven't actually made much sense as usual. So.
Oh, really? Well, Bo, I think if you can't understand it, Bob, I don't even know where to go there.
Right,
to be honest
should
with
we talk about the outlandish comments you made last night about Ireland being above average?
I have to say, this Arsenal shirt, listen, real men bet tattoos. Wearing shirts is nothing. Real men bet tattoos.
I would never do a tattoo ever, mate. Sorry, mate. No way. Sorry. Never.
Aki, as your close advisor, I have been advised by your wife, and it was.
No, I'm not putting a bet on. I'm not putting a bet on. I'm saying not all this shirt nonsense.
Brian, just like I have to tell you actually what time it is, I have to tell you no more tattoo bets because I know you very well.
No, I'm not saying I'm putting one on. I've been look. I've bet twice. I've lost twice. I've got Tottenham. We are Tottenham TV here. I've got Tottenham on tour there. I do not put other tattoo bets on unless someone wants to bet against me tomorrow's Saturday.
Get your Perchy TV one on the other shoulder. It's got to be.
No, my advertising.
By the way, another thing as well.
Let's get Perch to 1,000 subs.
This another nugget to some of the Tottenham fans, by the way.
Alex, you need to shout down the microphone,
Box
mate.
office is speaking.
This another nugget to some of the Tottenham fans. Why is Mason still there, by the way? Why is Mason still there, by the way? I wonder why.
Why is he there,
Yeah?
Alex? You tell
So
us.
when he
You tell
gets,
us,
so
Alex.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why he's still there. Because when Postecoglou gets sacked, who's gonna be the insurance policy? Oh yeah, Mason. Oh my gosh. See, put the little nugget there as again. You see what I'm
And if that
saying?
doesn't happen, Alex, what's the thing? If that doesn't happen,
Oh
and you're
well,
wrong,
bro, I'm
in the
just
mud
I'm
again.
just telling you.
In the mud again.
I'm just telling you, bro. It's like I said. Why is he still here making decisions? And he's
making
even said it
decisions?
himself. He wanted the Tottenham job.
Yeah.
If we were going for the future, why is he still here? And why is Postecoglou not even got his assistants as well, mate? That's another thing as well. Yes, I know Celtic were pressuring him. I know Celtic were pressuring him. I know Celtic were being harsh and stuff. But at the same time, yeah, the point I'm making is there's too many things to start thinking, really?
So,
and the thing is though, if I had success like Leicester City, although they've gone down and had the FA Cup and the Premier League to their name, I wouldn't question it. But I cannot say anything. Like I said before, I've gave you the reasons why I'm skeptical. No one can question me, and that's it. I'm sorry, because I don't live in Disneyland. I don't live in Dreamworld. You know what I mean?
Perchy, this is your show. Get back on track with what you wanted to talk about, because somehow I don't think Ryan Mason was something you wanted to talk about.
Exactly.
It was. But I want to ask this question to Alex, because the question that was asked yesterday that we're still waiting for the answer is,
yes.
One, does Tottenham need a director of football? Yes or no? Yes or no? Do we need a director of football? Yes or no?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay. What if the manager preferably would prefer not to have one? Would you then still say we get one?
Here's the thing, with that.
The problem I have with that is I don't trust the board. So if we're going to keep doing this, if Postecoglou is going to carry on this whole,
I have to repeat something that Sava says a lot. We need to stop buying players for managers because we don't trust our managers. What we have to do is build a philosophy and stick to that philosophy. That's what we've got to do. So that's why you get a director of football when you have a director of football operations. But at least when Postecoglou is eventually sacked in 18 months, because he'll probably do really well in the first year, not get backed and then get sacked because he wasn't backed. So that's what will more likely happen, because it is the history de Tottenham. We need to have a board of people that think about football and get players under the philosophy and have managers that fit that philosophy. That's the only reason you get a director of football. But maybe you have a director of football that's not involved with transfers, but maybe in terms of philosophy and academy. And you don't have to have a director of football that does transfers. The manager could still do the transfers, but you have a board, separate board that only talks about football and builds the philosophy with help of the current manager.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Agreed. But my next question would be: Do you promote within, or do you go out and buy one? Because there's a lot of talks that Gabbiadini might become the sort of top man when it comes to the scouting and stuff. Do you promote within, or do you go and get somebody else? That's the question.
You hire the best person for the job.
Of course.
I don't want.
The best person is already in the job and we can promote them. Is that not a bad thing? It's not a bad thing, is it?
It's not a bad thing to promote from within, but if they come from within, great. But all we need to do is say, this is the job analysis. We need someone that fits all the criteria for the job. And if someone is in the club that does it, brilliant. But if they don't, get rid of them. And then look for someone that can do it. We need the best people for the job. We need the best.
Ben, the problem is, Ben. Sorry, I'm talking so.
Yeah, you're not, because Perchy's in control. But
guys,
I
was on mute. He muted himself. You messed up.
But listen, guys. On a serious note, we've had 5 sporting directors. None of them have worked. None of them have worked. So why do we have to go down this path? Because it's, I don't know, fashionable. We've had David Pleat for 2,050
Big
days.
up, David Pleat.
Paul Kemsley for 232 days. We then had Frank Arneson for 389 days. Then we didn't have one for another 9 years. Ramon Planes, or Planes, or however you pronounce his fucking name, 364 days. Then not another one for 6 years until Paratici. So to me, that says that director of football does not work at Tottenham Hotspur.
But the problem is
let me
with that,
add to that as well. What has happened with that is if you look at when they were sacked, the next manager, and I've said this before since AVB, it's because when we brought in a director of football that aligns with the manager he comes in with, once we've sacked that manager, if he was an attacking manager, we brought in a defensive manager. And then if we brought in a defensive manager, we brought in an attacking manager. So their mindset. So like Ben was just saying with the transfers for the club, it doesn't matter because let's just say Ange doesn't work out. I think he's going to do well. I think he'll stay here 2-3 years of his contract minimum. I really do. I really think he may be someone that does well for us. But if it doesn't, do we then go, oh, well, we try going back to attacking and we've got all these defensive players, we'll go back to defensive? Or do the club now say, do you know what? We want to carry on playing the football that this club is known for and we carry on going down this track. You never know. You never know. I think a director in football is imperative for us right now just because of the way we do things. Not saying because it's worked, but people have got, like you just mentioned his name, Gabbiadini is actually very, very well respected and very, 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 very well sought after.
I've got a bad feeling about him. I've got a really
trust me, he's got. So one of my friends that I do spaces with knows him personally and talks to him, and he literally he's very, very good at what he does. To keep him at the club is going to be a blessing. It really, really is. He will bear fruit for us. May not do it not as quickly as we'd want it, but in the long run, he is someone we've got to keep at the club. He is someone we've got to.
Can I ask a question, Alex? Why is it you've got a bad feeling about it? Don't give me waffle. Give me actual factual reasons.
What do you mean factual reasons? What do you mean by waffle? I'm not waffling at all.
Right. So when you form an opinion, surely you base it on facts, right?
No. Sorry to interrupt you, but the point I'm making is...
Alex, let me speak.
No, because you said...
You're being a little bit
because I'm allowed to say something because she said about waffle. The waffle part is unfair, right?
No,
Firstly, I'm allowed to have my opinion and form my opinion. Just because it's not fact doesn't make no difference. I've told you the fact about Tottenham Hotspur. Okay,
no. I've got absolutely every single right
to say what I've said already.
No, right. I'll tell you what I'm trying to imply. Listen, I'll tell you what I'm trying to say is that when I form an opinion, I look objectively at things that I can try and form my opinion from. You're not. Why have you formed your opinion on this guy? Tell me. That's what
because I've told you already. I've just told you already about what my opinion is already.
No, you haven't. Why you don't?
Yes, I have just told you.
No,
I've just told you. You just won't accept it. I'm bored of this. No, I'm sorry. I'm bored of this now. I'm literally getting bored of this now. No, Mia. I'm getting bored of this now because I've just explained to you. I've explained to you on my channel as well what my opinion is already. Why I've said already. Okay, I've already told you. Okay, and I don't even know why people keep on telling me facts. We haven't won nothing. We ain't won even one trophy.
No,
so
what are you talking about? Hold on, that's not what I'm specifically.
No, but you're talking to me and saying no, you're not going to win. That's it. I've told you already.
Alex, let me finish your question.
No, but Nick, stop getting involved. Stop getting involved. I've told you already.
Okay, guys.
But right. There's a specific person I asked you about why, and you've not answered me at all.
No,
why
I've just told you why. I've told you why. I've told you why.
You haven't told me why.
I've told you already. I've told you already, though. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Alex, let me finish, bro. Let me finish, and then you can proper retaliate. Just do me a favour, please.
So what I'm trying to ask you is specifically about that one person. I'm not Gabini. Why is it that you don't think or don't trust him? You have not answered me specifically.
Because I've just got a bad feeling about it. Because at the end of the day, why is it? Okay, like I said, he's worked under Perchy. That's one thing. Okay, why can Tottenham Hotspur not go and get a director of football that, like Ben just said just now? That's what I'm saying. They promised it. They're the ones that promised it. Okay, so I'm going on what they promised. Okay, so at the end of the day, right, I've still got my question marks, and that's it. I ain't got no facts because I've got no facts, but I've got the previous how many years of Tottenham Hotspur, how they've worked how many years. So for me, I've got every single justification to say what I'm saying at the moment. I've explained it so many times, yeah, and I'm sorry actually it's directed at you, Mia, because I'm not. I understand why you're saying it, but the point I'm making is I'm getting annoyed now because I'm getting fed up with people telling me, "Oh, we're being negative, being negative." Well, you're living in Disneyland if you think that this is going to work out at the moment, because I still haven't got the evidence. I still haven't got the evidence.
Jump in here. What's not going to work?
Well, I don't know whether it's going to work. This guy at the moment.
So the basis of your argument is it's not going to work. But I ask you, what's not going to work, and then you go, I don't know. So I don't know what the answer. What isn't going to work?
Well, I don't know whether it's going to work out with Gabardini. Because at the moment, all I can go on is what Brian just said. Oh, I know him personally. Someone that knows him personally. That's it.
Alex,
but at the end of the day, well, we were promised a director of football, Perchy. We haven't got a director of football yet.
But listen to me. 1 second. Let me speak for a second. It's my show. I'll take control back. My show. Back to me. Yeah.
Well done,
Alex.
Well done.
The question I wanted to ask was, you're saying I said to you, what's not going to work? And you said, I don't know. And you said, well, I don't know. But you could say that about any director of football we appoint. You could say that about any player we appoint. No one's going to say that this is going to work and that's going to work. I don't think anyone here has said that there's some magic that's going to happen here. But what we're trying to say is right now we're going down a different path than what we've done before. Surely going down a different path is better than going down exactly the same path we've been doing for the last decade, which has been sign players at very high prices that are bang average. But now what we're doing, we're going a bit cheaper. Hold out before people in the chat. We're going a little bit cheaper, but we're doing data analytics to go, do you know what? We're finding players from all around Europe that we can bring into Sim. We've already started it with the goalkeeper. We're going to potentially do it with the defender in Tatsoba. So we need to just be a bit more, we've got to be a bit more sensible when we're talking about it.
Perchy, I don't know why that is just that is really towing the line a little bit saying that, because the fact is you are because the fact is when you're saying sensible, have we been sensible ever? Yeah, this is the thing. I don't even know. I think people are just woken up or something like that. Oh yeah, but
down a different route.
Yeah, we're going down a different path. But are they experienced of doing that, bro? That's the point I'm making. Right, so this is the thing. I need convincing. No, but so Perchy, you're not listening to me, are you? This guy, is he experienced of doing the data analyst at the moment? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Based on what? My point is based on what?
Well, the thing is, though, the only thing we've got is that we've done it with Brighton at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's waffle that you're talking, and that's it.
Oh no.
You know what I mean?
Alex, my point is based on what?
What do you mean based on what? Based on what? Because I don't trust the club, bruv. If you can't see that, I don't even know what to say, bro. You know what I mean?
I think there he is. Oh,
talking about facts.
At least Sava wanted to make a point. How are you, Sava? How you doing, mate?
Did I? I'm good. How are you all?
I'm good.
Sava's just joined us to say he's in the VIP lounge somewhere again and just rub it in again. That's what he's doing. I'm in the VIP lounge.
In the VIP lounge, Sava, but I've got the hotel myself. No one here has the hotel.
So
yeah, I see the box office is waffling.
So, I don't get. I think you need the violin, Boxy. Don't try that one, mate. Honestly, don't try that one. But Alex, so what are we trying to get at here? So you're saying it's not going to work because of past experiences. But why can't it work if we do if we take a different route out? Surely that's the way we want to do. Surely trying something different is the way to try and find the right solution at this football club. What do you want us to do? Do you want us to go out and do what we've been doing wrong for the last decade? Or do you want us to try something different?
I never said that I didn't want it to do something different. I said to you, I still need convincing. That's why I'm just getting annoyed, because it's like, I think I've made it quite clear what I've said. I've said already, right, that it's not just a transfer window I'm basing this on. I'm basing it on whether after a bad run, I think I've made it quite clear, basing it on if we have a bad run of games of no wins, okay, and they still back him, yeah, I'll start sitting there thinking, okay, this is long term. But at the moment, I'm still seeing things that are alarming at the moment. Gabbiadini's still being here, one. Mason's still being here, another. Okay, right?
Mate, there's a big difference.
Yeah, and that's it. So that's what I'm saying.
There's a big difference. There's a big difference between Gabbiadini and Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason, we see in the light of day. We see everything that he does because he's either with the coaching staff, he's been at the front line of the manager. Gabbiadini is a name that's only coming out now that people are aware of because Perchy's been sacked and he's up the top. No one that you see Mason and you see him and you can read up about him. You can see his career as a footballer, his career as a manager, his career as a coach. These people in the back end, for a lot of people, I'm not saying they're just names. Oh, that's his position. He does this. He does that. I mean, the funniest thing I read is when we appointed Simon Davies to take over Yaya Toure. And the last paragraph of Tottenham Hotspur's statement was he came to Tottenham as head of methodology in 2022. I was like, what the fuck is that? What does that even mean, head of methodology? They're just titles there. Gabbiadini is a fantastic asset for Tottenham for what we're going to try. People know my stance on Levy. People know that I can't stand the ball and we'll do it. Gabbiadini is someone that shouldn't be having stones thrown at them right now. He is going to be an asset, a big asset to the club.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. And still, I just wanted to make this point. My point difference is we're not just we're buying differently. Like in a sense, we're buying through analytics. We're not buying because the thing is the last 5 or 6 years we've been spending money, but spending money terribly. Doesn't anyone think? I think signing of like Richarlison have been terrible. I mean, I could Ndombele, Lo Celso. How many more of these absolute crap signings are we going to go and splash 50, 60 million quid for? Whereas I feel like we're going down a different route. Listen, I'm not sitting there saying that it's going to be right because this football club is an absolute mess of a show. But maybe there's just something we can just think that maybe under this manager, maybe it's just the hope in me at the moment. Maybe, I don't know. I'd love to get just people's thoughts on it.
I personally believe that we're not fully using analytics yet because that takes time.
We won't be straight away.
There'll be bits of it in. We'll look at some statistics just like you look at statistics or any signing. But I think for that full analytical approach, that takes minimum 5, 6, 7 years to fully bed in and build a nervous center of a team to really do that role. So I think fully on analytics, there'll be little bits of info with analytics, but not fully just of yet. But if they've gone to another, if they've bought a whole team in, I understand it.
Go on, Sava.
Can I just say, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Sorry, I've not got the greatest reception out here. The thing that makes me laugh is when people like Mr. Box Office saying I need to be shown and what are we to remember that first of all the transfer window's been open for about 2, right? He's an implementation.
You're cutting out a bit,
That's no VIP lounge, Sava.
Yeah,
happen overnight. Like, did you not hear any?
No,
I mean, you were going in and out. I could barely hear you, mate.
You're cutting in and out, Sava. You're cutting in and out.
We lost you, Savile, when you said box office.
Let me.
That's all we needed to say, I think.
Okay, can you hear me better now with the camera off?
Crystal.
Yeah.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah. So all I was saying is, I feel like, listen, as much as I hate Daniel Levy, right, and everyone knows I hate Daniel Levy, I feel that at the moment, whatever we do signing wise, right, and people saying sort my Wi-Fi out. I'm in the middle of Spain somewhere. I don't know. Whatever we're doing signing wise at the moment, people are automatically just using anything they can to beat Daniel Levy. Now I get it, we hate Levy, but some people are not even trying to look at any of the signings in any positive light, and that is the worry for me. We're seeing people go, "Oh, what's different? What's different?" Well, listen, you know, what do they want to happen overnight? I don't understand it, Perchy. Right? Transfers are going to be a gamble. I don't think all transfers should be based on data. I don't think all transfers should be based on the eye test, so to speak. But sometimes signings are just good signings and we don't have to look into them so deep. Yeah. But the problem I've got is people like Alex going, they've got to convince me. They've got to convince me. They've got to convince me. It's like, okay, but how can they convince you? Surely as a football fan, you go, okay, I like that signing. That's a positive start. But to look at every single thing at this club negatively because you don't like the owners, I do feel then it starts to become a little.
Oh, we've cut a bit there.
I mean, the only way to build on to Sav's point about convincing, the only way for a player to really convince Tottenham fans is to play in a Tottenham shirt, and the only way to get them in a Tottenham shirt is to buy them. So
I don't think
there can be an amazing player that could be absolutely brilliant, and then he can.
I don't think you listen to my point at all. I don't think you listen to my point at all. I think I made my position clear again.
And can we make
I've said my point so many times. I've said it so many times. I don't understand why people don't understand.
Alex, just before you go, I need to make a move. So listen, everyone on the panel, have a wicked weekend. Ben, I'll be on yours very, very soon. Perchy, Alex, Mia, Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, they all put on the show for you. Sava, see you later. Everyone in the chat, have a wonderful weekend. And as always, Levy, out.
Take care, mate.
I'm out because I've made my point already.
You've made no points at all.
No, I made my point already. I've made my point already. I made my point already. I think if you can't understand it, I'm done. Yeah, see you later.
Hang on. So Alex makes me log on from Spain and then jumps off when I join.
Okay, well, we're just dropping like flies. I don't know. I was trying to work out the point. I'm assuming his point was trying to say that he can't. The past failure. Alex, if you're in the chat and you're back in here, mate, let me confirm, because I'll be honest, I didn't understand your point. But I'm trying to work it out was you don't like the way we've run previously. So you're going to bash now the new regime under Postecoglou on previous problems. Now, for me, then that turns into a problem, because then we're going to be sitting in the dark ages forever. Like, we're going to be miserable about everything. We could sign Mbappe, but because the old regime was bad, we can't be happy with that. I think just got to be sensible. I'll be honest. I don't know what Alex wanted. He wanted an attacking manager. We get an attacking manager. Then he doesn't like that. Then we go and then it's, well, we've got a manager that's going to start buying a little bit cheaper, but maybe plays for a system. Then doesn't like that. And it's like, but then he hated Conte because of the way that he played, the style of football, but then goes, we haven't got an elite manager. I don't know what is the correction. And it
just, this is the meme of just represents what Alex was like. My job here is done, but you didn't do anything.
I just don't understand. I don't understand any of it, to be honest, guys. Listen, I hate the owners, but does that mean I have to knock every single signing that comes in? Like, if you look at this Vicario signing, right? We're now at the stage where people are thinking about owners over the player coming in. All of a sudden now it's, I don't want him because Paratici wanted him. Now, what sort of world are we living in that only because one person wanted a player, it means that we don't want him? Like, there's no common sense applied to anything. You know,
Agreed.
first of all, we had, David Raya's not worth 40 million, right? From so many fans. Then we buy a goalkeeper at 20 million and people are going, oh my God, Levy's gone cheap. Well, I would understand that if anyone knew anything about this keeper. But everyone who's making comments about this keeper has probably never seen an Italian Serie A game in their life, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So if we're going to knock Levy for £20 million signings, cool. What do we want to do then, Perchy? Sorry, I'm going to rant quickly because my Wi-Fi shit. What do we want to do then? We want to bring in 3 players at 40, 45 million and strengthen just 3 areas. Or do we want to be sensible? And do we want to buy bargains? And do we want to buy players who are 20, 25, 30 million and be able to buy more of them? I think that the fan base really needs to take a step back, take a breather, let Postecoglou do his thing, and not every single day needs to be bashing the crap out of Daniel Levy. And this is from someone who hates Daniel Levy.
Agreed. And I'm in the same boat, mate.
Sacked, buddy. Before you get sacked.
Yeah, no. We'll go for 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes is fine. We'll be okay for that. But because 169 of you in the building and there's 58 likes. Come on, guys. Before we've just had it all. Smash the like button. Let's get it over 100. That'd be amazing. But yeah, no, Sava, I agree with what you're saying, though. This is the point for me that, like, oh, he's gone. Oh, there you go. Now Mike dropped it. But yeah, what Sava's right in what he was saying, though, and I think this is it. Like, there's so many sticks to beat Daniel Levy over the head with. This isn't the one. Oh, he's back. Here he is. He's back.
Sorry.
Yes, I don't know if you heard what I said. I was just saying there's so many sticks to beat him with. This isn't the one to beat him with. You're going to beat him. You can beat him about the past. All of that. Beat him about the rubbish that we've had to be dealing with. But signing a £20 million signing from the Serie A doesn't feel like it for me. For me, the real one is if now we don't go and sign a centre-back. That's where you beat the stick with the owners for. If we don't go and buy a centre-back.
And we will. But Perchy, we will.
That's my point, though.
But Perchy, we're at the stage, right? We're at the stage with Spurs fans now where, right, we need a new number 1. So we get a number 1. Right, somebody that, by the way, that Gianluca Buffon, one of the best goalkeepers that's ever played the game, has said is brilliant, right? Yeah. But apparently all our fans know more than Buffon, right? We go and get a number 1, and then people go, oh, we don't need a goalkeeper, we need centre-backs. And it's like, well, we need a lot. We need a lot of things. So why can't anyone be positive about a new signing? Like, I don't get it, mate. I don't get it.
Sav, this is the point I was trying to make. It's the goalposts get moved and stuff, and this is for me where I can't be that person, because for me, if I'm that person, then I'm a hypocrite. I said, and Ben will confirm. He was on the show with me when I said, if we're putting out a Raya, is because in the space of a few days, there's another goalkeeper basically ready to be signed. I can't be annoyed, because that's what clubs are meant to be doing. If we go, do you know what? We've spent 2 weeks here and we don't know. I said I'd be annoyed if we spend another 2 weeks trying to find another goalkeeper and go then, boom. In the space of 24 hours, boom, we've got a new goalkeeper basically going to sign on the weekend. How can we be annoyed at that? That's if Man City did that, if any other football club did that, we go, that's how proper football clubs
are. Yeah, but Perchy,
you'll get slated for it.
More than anything, it's everybody thinking they know what's going on. So everybody comments now is, oh, typical Levy going for the second choice, the cheaper one. It's such a lazy bit of analysis. How do we know? How do we know that Vicario wasn't one of our top 2 targets anyway?
We were scouting him for. Reports are saying we were scouting him for months.
Do you know?
It's mad.
Joe, I likened it to actually is a bit like if you're in a relationship for a really long time and the relationship's really awful, are you not then going to go in once you finish that relationship? Are you not going to go into another one trying to expect better because you just think to yourself, right, okay, that was awful, but I have to sort of put that behind me somewhat. You carry a little bit of the baggage from it because we've all got that baggage from the being hurt before and lied to before by the owners. But sometimes you have to sort of let it go and try to move forward, because otherwise what's the point of life if you're not going to try and be happy in life, like, and try and see some positive lights in things?
Agreed.
You know,
otherwise
but Mia,
this
but Mia, they're just trying to They're just trying to knock. Listen, again, I can't caveat this enough. I am Daniel Levy out, and I've been since 2007. But every single time we make a signing, why does it have to be a reason to knock the manager? Like the same people that told us last year that Conte was backed and the only one of the 7 that he didn't want was Spence. All of a sudden, when it started going wrong, it changed from Conte's not being backed by Levy. You know, we can't keep pissing in the wind like this. At the end of the day, if Postecoglou has said, I'm happy with that goalkeeper, if Postecoglou is happy with Adebayo, Maddison, whoever comes through the door, isn't that where we want to be comfortable as a club and say, okay, the manager's happy with that. I can play that manager's style of football. But this constant need, even when we sign a player, to constantly go, oh my God, he's crap. Let's be fair, none of us know either way. None of us are experts on Italian goalkeepers.
Of course.
You know, people going, oh, this is Galini Mark II. Well, not really, because Galini was dropped by Atalanta.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just I just don't like, I get called negative all the time, right? I did a video last night saying, right, come on, people, let's try and be positive about this. Then I get all the people in my YouTube comments going, oh, toxic positivity. You can't win in this fan base. You can't win.
There's no context to anything, and that's the key word that we say all the time. There's no context. For me right now, I don't get what people want, because everyone was saying in before this, like, bigging up the likes of Brighton, the way they operate, and then we do something very similar by getting a goalkeeper similar to that we've been scouting for months. And then all of a sudden, everyone's going, "No, I don't want that. We deserve better. We should be getting the elite managers and stuff." But it doesn't work. We've seen that. Like, we're trying. I think for people need to understand, we're trying something a little bit different right now. Trying something a bit different. It's not like before. We wouldn't have signed this lad before. We would have gone and got a cheap option in the Premier League, a Bazunu, a Meslier, someone we could get really quickly. I think people miss that.
Well, mate, I'll say it off the back of our conversation on the WhatsApp group last night. People posting and saying shit like, "I'm really worried about this. You know, we should be seriously concerned about this goalkeeper." How? You've never watched him play? Like, you've never watched him play. How do Brighton, how do Brentford, how do all these other clubs seem to get these players that no one's seen play and make it work? And when we do it, it's Levy being cheap. I think people need to have a massive look in the mirror, realise where Spurs are, realise how much needs to be done, and realise that these top players they think we're going to sign have no interest in joining Tottenham Hotspur. But listen, I need to go.
You're spot on,
because we're going to wrap up in a minute anyway, mate. We're going to wrap up in a minute anyway.
All right, mate.
Guys, I'll let you guys I'll get your last thoughts on it, because I have to finish very soon. So I'd like to get your thoughts. For me, I'm on what Sav is saying. I agree. I think we just need to be a bit more calmer at the moment as a fan base. We can't be negative about absolutely everything, because it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, there we go.
He's got Shane over.
That's it. I'm done. I'm gone.
We have signed players that are really good at certain clubs that have been total clangers. Other clubs have bought big name players that have ended up being total clangers.
Yeah.
The only way we know if this goalkeeper is going to work in a Tottenham shirt is by putting in a Tottenham shirt and seeing how he performs.
And see what happens.
Mason Mount, let this sink into you. Mason Mount is about to go to United for over 55 million. He's not even worth 55 quid, let alone 55 million.
But would people
not even worth a Fredo?
But Barry, this is the point I was just about to make. If we're going to get, we would have. The other side of it, if we'd have gone and bought Mason Mount for 60 million quid, everyone would have gone, why are we wasting all that money on a player like Mason Mount? He's not good enough to get in our team. You can't, guys, in the chat and stuff, you can't have it both ways. I feel like we just don't know what we want anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyway, I think we're going to wrap up, because I'm knackered. I've got loads of work to do. Thanks everyone, guys, for coming on. Guys, massive shout out to you guys for coming along. Massive shout out to Boxy, he's been here. Mia just jumped up, big up to you. Thank you for coming on. Sava, Brian, massive shout out to you guys. Barry, guess what's going to happen?
Well, I'm not going to big up my channel. I'm just going to big up the Perchy TV. 68 subscribers away from 1,000.
68 subscribers away, guys. Come on. Let's do this.
Stop him whinging. Stop him moaning. There's 145 of you in here. I'm sure some of you haven't subscribed. So go over and subscribe to the Perchy TV. Get him to 1,000 because I'm bored of fucking hearing him moaning about it and whinging and begging and crying and all sorts. Get him. Just get him to 1,000 people.
Certainly multiple of you that haven't.
I love you guys.
The coffee company. So if
thank you so much, guys.
Subscribe to the coffee company and get us to 350.
Of course.
We will be live in 50 minutes with Brian Daigle.
Yeah. Put your link in the chat, and everyone go over there and go and like it over at the coffee company, and go over there and watch later. Why not? It's Friday, nice, chilled out, relaxing. None of this chaotic streams like me. Go over there and chill. Oh, Mia's back. Hey, Mia, we're just finishing off. I just want to give you last words.
My last words are: as long as Angie's happy, I'm happy. That is my main point. As long as he is happy with the signings that he gets, I am a happy lady. That's all I've got to say about that.
Agreed. And also, just on the last one, is the vote said that I should take the bet. So, Alex, I accept.
Yes,
I accept your bet. I accept your bet. And yeah, a massive shout. And obviously, yeah, everyone, guys, go over to Ben's channel, guys, and go and subscribe. Go and watch it later. It's a really good show. I'll be tuned in, and I'll be in the chat chatting away to you guys. So, guys, please go over there, share the love, because that's what we're all about. It's all about sharing the love. Genuinely, we all joke and banter, but we're all here and we all work together for it. So, guys, on that note, I'll see anyone tomorrow if you want to come and join. See you tomorrow.